What's good, everybody? Tim, also known as Yoshi McLeod here with match 3 of my tournament run with Purple Steel. This time we're going up against Aiden, who is on his Emerald Sapphire brew. Now, Aiden's brew is still very much a work in progress. We actually had a lot of discussion about it. He opens up with the Princess Jasmine. I don't really have any initial plays, so I just ink and kind of pass. So, Aiden's definitely still working on this. He's playing Sail the Azurite Sea, I think is what the card's called. Plays Diablo on 2. So that 3 inks is pretty good for him. We got double grab your swords. Our hand is kind of funny because once we get online with some cards, that hand might pop off just a little bit. So he plays that first Diablo, but it does not look like he has a second Diablo right now. Inking a few cards, questing for 2. We're in a weird spot. We get a Tinkerbell out there though. Tinkerbell is going to put some pressure on this board because now we're not just sitting back anymore. So this Jasmine is interesting because he's playing quite a few Jasmines in here because he's playing the new Shift Jasmine, which I think she's interesting. Initially, I was like, oh, I don't like her. I don't like that he's playing that card. But as he played more, I recognized where the card's value was. Hard playing a Diablo. Unfortunately for him, though, that Diablo is dead. So it was a case where he didn't have another action to play the Diablo. So it wasn't great. Hit 7, made me discard my whole hand. But the issue here is I have a Tinkerbell on board. So big problem with that card that makes you discard your entire hand is one, I'm an Amethyst deck, so I will draw back up very quickly. But on top of that, I got rid of my entire hand. Or I didn't get rid of my entire hand. He did it while I had something on board. What would have made it better is if he could have made me discard my hand while I had no board and then essentially put us into parity because he also didn't have cards in hand. So he put us in a situation where it was a little weird for him. Now he has killed my big Tink because that well, no, excuse me, he didn't kill my big Tink. I bounced my big Tink to play a little Tink. Play Robin Hood, quested with my board. The issue is that Jasmine is a 5/5. My Tinkerbell's a 4/5, so wasn't great. He does shift Jasmine on Jasmine though, so he bounces my hand back. But I also just don't really care. Replay double Tinkerbells. I can put a lot of pressure on the board. He only has a Jasmine. He's been top decking for a while, hasn't been drawing anything. Didn't have an action in hand for him to take. So at this point, this game is looking pretty Jover. Granted, he did have a pretty good game 1, but I think the way that he had his deck built up was asking just for like a bit more. He plays another Jasmine, shifts her to bounce my stuff, but I still have guys to quest and end the game there. So this game 1 going to me. Pretty unfortunate for him, but now we move into game 2. Alright, game 2. I'm moving second this game. So, game 1, I feel like early turn that was kind of a best case scenario where I didn't have many moves. And now he's gotten a look at my hand so he can see that I actually do have some early game plays available to me. Excuse me for that yawn. Alright, inks a card, discarding, shifting into Diablo. 1 jumping to ramp, and Diablo's gonna quest. So right now, I do not believe I initially have a way to deal with this Diablo. So I'm just kind of put a couple bodies out. It's fine. I think actually would have been fine for me to quest there with Robin Hood, because questing with Robin Hood offers a trade Diablo that he's probably not gonna take. Sudden chill, making me discard a card. Then he's gonna use the muses. The muses is gonna bounce back my Robin Hood. Pretty good on his part. Keep that Robin Hood off the board because he does know that I have to shift Robin. Ink a card, play Robin, quest for 2 with my guys, bounce back a card with Madam Mim. Now, if he had something I could attack, I could have replayed that Cogsworth to rush the Mim, but it's fine. We don't have a lot of actual things to do in this situation. Oh, excuse me. I'm just yawning a lot while recording this one. So, looks at my hand again. I still have the Robin Hood. I have a Grab Your Swords, and I have Cogsworth. So, there's a good chance that next turn we're just going to be like Ink Cogsworth, shift Robin Hood, grab your swords. Yeah, it takes out everything but the muses. I think I did talk to him about that play. I said point blank, you knew what was in my hand, so playing out in that position is kind of not great, which he realized after the fact, after we had our discussion. But now we're in a weird board state. I have 1 card in hand, and he doesn't know what it is. But I also have 4 questing on board. His muses can't go sideways. The only thing he can bounce is my Captain Hook. So our question is, what does he do? I believe that is Iago he played, which makes his next card cheaper. But there's really just so much. There's so much he can do. Grab your swords, draw cards, play Genie, draw cards, ink, fire the cannon, shoot his Iago. Iago's not dead, but there's damage marked on it now. He doesn't have good ways to remove it. And I don't know if there's a grab your swords in my hand, but there's a good chance my next grab your swords could go crazy. He's gonna you're welcome away his Iago to try and draw some cards. I don't think he quested with it though. I think questing with it still would have been right. Board state's not great for him. Muses is gonna bounce back. I wasn't paying attention to what card that was, but bounces a card of mine back with the Muses. Muses only had 2 targets. Now he has a second Muses. Going back to my turn, I have 5 questing on board, which I do. Playing a rabbit, drawing an extra card, inking another card. We're questing for 6 on our next turn now. He can bounce rabbit and he can bounce our Genie, but this is still just a bad situation for him. I'm drawing so many cards, he doesn't have good ways to do it, to deal with my board. Now, best thing that can happen to him is he hits his other Jasmine. Because I think, I quest for 6? Or no, I don't quest for 6, but I essentially am questing for 6 going to 17. To which I play Tinkerbell, doing 1 damage to everything. And I just pass. And I'm kind of like, look, if you have the second Jasmine to shift, it is what it is. Yeah, he did have it. Jasmine quests, leaves the Muses back. Now here's the thing, I don't play goats in this list, so quest for 2, and then now I'm just kind of like, look, we're gonna put bodies out, and you don't have easy ways to interact with them, so have fun. To which I do get the win in that situation. He really didn't have anything to do from there. Once again, same deck I've been playing before. This deck's great. I absolutely love it. I adore this deck. And I'll see you guys in the next one.